Hello, Dr. Enakimio. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. So you recently spoke about shifting the narrative of produced water from a waste product to an asset that contributes to the bottom line. For an operator looking at the additional high-cost produced water setup, what the organization behind the asset looked like when it's successfully structured to drive enterprise value instead of just managing a cost line item.
That's a very good question. Thanks for asking. The organization behind the asset is one that has stopped treating produced water as a problem owned only by the environmental or technical team. It begins by being clear about the value opportunity. That value will not always mean selling the water. It may mean reducing operating costs, improving production uptime, protecting asset life, strengthening regulatory confidence, recovering useful materials, or creating opportunities for reuse. The organization must agree which outcome it is pursuing and how that outcome contributes to the bottom line, how the structure can support that. The right people must be accountable across operations, engineering, commercial, finance, environmental, data, supply chain. All of that needs to be considered. Decision rights must be clear. Technical data must move quickly enough to inform operating and investing decisions. Contractor and technology provider interfaces must be designed around the asset outcome rather than each party competing its own, isolated sort of tasks. This is where the five W's matter, and I talk about it a lot. And we look at work. Work must be defined. The workload, which is the second W, needs to be understood for that moment. The workflow needs to be connected, even in a matrix, interconnected. Even if it's a global workforce, the workflow needs to be connected. The workplace should be able to support delivery, and the workforce itself equipped to make commercially sound decisions. A technology can perform exactly as designed and still fail to create enterprise value if the organization around it cannot adopt it, govern it, or integrate it into the wider asset. The shift from cost to value, therefore, begins with the technology, but it is realized through the organization that's behind it.
From an organizational design perspective, what specific talent gaps or leadership capabilities do companies usually miss when trying to build teams capable of executing this kind of commercial and structural transformation?
One of the most significant gaps is often described as talent shortage, but I think the issue is much deeper. Across the sector, restructuring, downsizing, asset transfers, and the exit of major operators have resulted in the loss of organizational memory. Businesses have not only lost experienced people, in many cases, they have weakened the management spine that once translated technical experience into judgment, daily decisions, coaching, and operational performance. An organization may still have excellent specialists, but the connections between technical knowledge, commercial decisions, and asset strategy have become weaker. The leadership capability required today is also different. Leaders must understand the technical reality while being commercially astute enough to connect to its assets, economics, regulatory exposure, and enterprise value. They must manage complex relationships across operators, contractors, regulators, investors, and technology providers, often within an unstable geopolitical environment because things just change. One tweet can go out today and everything changes tomorrow. You know, they must also know how to integrate AI. It's very important. Data platforms and new technology without losing human accountability or valuable organizational knowledge. Interoperability is not only a technology issue. People, systems, decisions, and information must be able to work together. That requires a more disciplined form of self leadership to understand complexity, the confidence to make decisions, and the courage to challenge practices that no longer serve the asset. The real capability question is not simply do we have the right people? It is have we designed the organization so that experience, technology, and leadership judgment can work together to now create value?
Wow, that's a lot to digest, and
Mhm.
and I'm sure it will be discussed at length in Lagos during the Produce Water Society event in 2 weeks. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for your time, and thank you for your contributions.
it's a pleasure. Thank you.